everyone, welcome back to another video. If you don't know who I am, that means you know. I'm Mark. Let's go with y'all. Go check out my other videos. Check them out. Sorry if I seem a little agitated. This is take 2 because these trash Timu microphones died on me again. I need to get new ones. I know. Don't make fun of me, y'all. Let me adjust the camera angle a tiny bit. All right, there we are. So, before I even get into, what the title of this episode of Debunking Anti Gunners is, I'm sure y'all read it. I'm sure y'all saw the thumbnail. I'm going to go into why this video even came into reality, why the idea came into my mind. I work overnight shifts, for most of y'all who don't know that. So while I was working one of my overnight shifts, someone who decided to start an argument with me from a comment that was left under a different commenter's comment, this is all on Instagram, guys, that the whole conversation was settled like a week prior, decided to, come at me to restart an argument regarding abortion. They essentially were extremely pro-choice, couldn't provide any proof of it, and if y'all don't know, I am very much so pro-life. So let's get into it. The whole reason why this video is being made is because, I realize this is how a lot of anti-gunners think. I was called a quote-unquote hypocrite because I'm pro-life and pro-Second Amendment, because they believe that I just want to shoot people and kill people. So how can I be pro-life and pro-killing people is what they believe. So I'm going to go ahead and debunk it. So welcome back to this episode of Debunking Anti-Gunners. You can't be pro-life and be pro-Second Amendment, or you can't be pro-2A or Second Amendment and pro-life. Sorry, it's been one of those nights, as you can imagine, and this is take 2. I'm going to constantly be checking my microphone, guys. I just don't want it to happen again. But let's get into it. So, for starters, I want to point out this troubling mindset that they have. They are comparing... Okay, let's keep in mind, they are trying to say that us as gun owners are fantasizing about murdering people, essentially. They're trying to compare what they believe is murder fantasizing murder, or however you want to say it, fantasization. I don't even know if that's a word or not. Regardless, let's get into it. They're trying to compare what they believe is us fantasizing murder to a fetus and keeping it alive. Do you see where it doesn't add up? And that's kind of where the trouble starts, is with that mindset right there. It's a really fucking screwed up and troubling mindset to have, right? Just off rip. Let's get started. So, let's talk about the main reason why most people own firearms, all right? Because it's very obvious what the aspect of being pro-life is. You are pro the life of the baby. All right, let's go. A majority of people, while the Second Amendment was originally created to fight off either a foreign or domestic tyrannical government, 100% true, it's necessary for the security of a free state. It's literally in the Second Amendment. A majority of people own firearms for self-defense, whether it's defending themselves, their families, or even, just some strangers in an unfortunate situation like a mass shooting. You know what I mean? Sorry, as I said, I'm going to constantly be checking my mic. So just in that aspect alone, with a majority of firearm owners being that way, where is there an issue with it aligning with a pro-life stance on abortion? It does that's what, seems a little weird to be quote unquote hypocritical in their eyes, is that it seems very obvious that a majority of firearm owners, and this is going to be the overall point of the video that you can guess, is that a majority, if not all, firearm owners do not want innocent deaths. That's what they don't want innocent people's lives to be taken from them. Plain and simple. That's just how it is. Now, here's what I'm going to say. Since a majority of people own firearms for self-defense, you got to think, what are they defending themselves from? Depending where you're at, you're dealing with a variety of things, right? If you're in a more, I guess, rural area, more wooded area, even, something like that, you're probably going to be dealing with, some larger animals, something along those lines that, it's Mother Nature you're fighting against. These animals were literally designed to kill. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with defending yourself from something that is trying to hurt you, maim you, or take your life. That's just how it works. It's called self-defense. That's, it's the preservation of one's life. Unfortunately, sometimes the preservation of one's life means the taking of another being's life. And that's very unfortunate. Most people, actually all people who own firearms, would rather avoid that. That's just the truth of the matter. They would rather avoid it as a whole, whether it's an animal or even a person. Now, if you're in a more like city-like area, yeah, there are some animals you still got to worry about. However, you're probably going to be worried about, the two-legged foes, you would say. And I'm not talking about birds, homie. I'm talking. Obviously, I'm talking about other humans that can be a threat to your life as well. There is nothing wrong with defending yourself from a criminal. I hate to break it to you guys, but somebody who is in the process of trying to harm you, whether it's to the point of great bodily harm or to death, they are not an innocent person. They're not some random civilian, some random bystander. You didn't just join a GTA server and just start beating up a random person. This is somebody who's trying to cause extreme harm or death upon you. There is nothing wrong with defending yourself from that. I can't believe I even have to express that out loud. That seems extremely obvious. To even compare a person defending themselves from a criminal to an, a baby that's in its mother's womb, it's ludicrous. You're arguing for the life of a criminal or criminals over the life of innocent babies. It's despicable, just to say the least. Now, one thing I want to touch on, and I do kind of want to leave the video at this note because I know I'm getting a bit more political in this video and a little more political off the aspect of the Second Amendment than I usually do in my videos. I try to keep this content mainly Second Amendment, as you guys know. Excuse me. Try to keep it as much two-way and gun content as possible, but sometimes, other forms of politics and the Second Amendment, they intersect. And believe me, I got my opinions on it all, so I'm going to say it. You know what I mean? Now, one thing I want to leave us all off with is this little catch here that, it's kind of funny that liberals don't seem to notice. All right? They claim it's hypocritical of us to be pro-life and pro-Second Amendment, partly because they believe if you own a firearm, you're evil. If you own a firearm, you want to kill people. That's what they believe. So in their eyes, as I said, they're like, how can you be pro-life and pro-killing people at the same time? Now, it's funny that they try putting it like that, because here's where I'm going to twist it and put it onto them as well. And this is where I want to leave us off with. How can they claim to be, quote unquote, pro-life in a different sense, but pro-choice, meaning pro the choice of killing an innocent baby in the sense of abortion? Here's how I'm going to say it. What do they always try to say about firearm owners? They always try to claim that us as firearm owners or advocates of the Second Amendment do not care about the lost lives of children in school shootings. That they're the ones who care for the children, and we need to keep our kids safe. Our kids shouldn't have to worry about having a bulletproof backpack. First off, my kid might have a bulletproof backpack, and like, what? When I have a kid, I might get them a bulletproof backpack just because. That sounds super cool. Like, what? That sounds badass. Regardless, not my point. My whole point is simply just that how can you claim to care about children who are victims in school shootings or mass shootings, but not care about the children who are in the mother's wombs? It makes no sense to me, and it's obviously very hypocritical. And that's what's funny to me, because what type of hypocrisy they're trying to call upon us is a false hypocrisy. There's nothing to back up their hypocrisy that they're trying to put on us, considering with us, we're talking about preserving an innocent life and defending an innocent life from a not so innocent life. I'm talking about preserving the innocent life of a baby and someone defending their life or their family's lives from somebody who's already a criminal and isn't so much innocent. You see what I mean? That's just how I view it. Is that it seems pretty, consistent here on our end. It seems like a false hypocrisy they're trying to put on us when the real hypocrisy falls on them of how can they sit here and claim they care about the children of school shootings or the child victims, excuse me, not the children of school shootings, the child victims of school shootings, but not care about the babies that are in the mother's wombs. It makes no sense to me. And that's where the real hypocrisy lies. And that's something that they fail to see. But you know what? I don't fail to see it. I know you don't. I don't. So I want to leave us off with that note. With that being said, y'all make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, hit that bell. When you hit that bell, hit all. And because you agree with me, because you agree with me. Sorry, I know I'm gonna have to fix that camera angle in a little bit. Because you agree with me, the real hypocrisy lies on them, considering that they claim to care about the child victims of school shootings and mass shootings, but don't care about the child victims of Planned Parenthood. Make sure to check out all my other videos. Y'all make sure to stay legal, stay safe, stay dangerous. Have a good one, y'all. Peace.